The Glazers could be staying at Manchester United. This claim here from Mike Keegan says that there are now concerns amongst those involved over whether the Glazers will sell Manchester United. Some believe the process may well be paused. The prospect of this lingering into autumn or even winter has been discussed by both camps. And this has led many to believe that the Glazers may stop the sales process altogether, hold on to the football club, and continue to run it. And this has always been a possibility. It's always been a possibility because the Glazers have one true motivation, and it's only ever been one thing: to make as much money out of Man United as possible. They may believe that, look, the team is improving. Ten Hag's doing a great job. We may have stumbled upon a decent board. And if we leave it a year, make Champions League again, win another trophy, which we all want, by the way, we don't want the team to lose. We could sell for an extra $500 million, an extra billion. And that is their true motivation. Pause the process, start it again in the winter when, make up some kind of excuse or reason. This is a genuine possibility. I hope it doesn't happen. But if it does, there's only one group of people to blame, and that is us, the fans. And that is what I'm angry with today, because Man United fans have allowed this to happen. We've allowed it to happen because too many of us have continued to fund the football club. It's as simple and it's as straightforward as that. Now, I tweeted this yesterday. I said, if the Glazers decide not to sell, Man United fans whom continue going to games, buying kits, and financially supporting the club, you are Glazers. And I genuinely believe this. By the way, you're allowed to support the club any which way you want, but you are the biggest reason they're staying. Not because you think Manu should be given a chance in midfield, not because you believe Rashford deserves a new kit, not because you celebrated when we won the Carabao Cup. They're not reasons the Glazers are still here. Financially supporting the club is. As their asset grows, they get happier. They will stay longer. That's it. And they believe they can squeeze more blood out of this stone. It's as simple and as straightforward as that to me. And what I'm really sick and tired about is opinions such as this. Now listen to this for a minute here from Graham Souness. Take a little listen to this.
6 billion now. It's all right, people saying they've got all this debt, but the asset has grown enormously.
So you see that there? He's actually right in that little instance there. There's all this debt, but the asset is growing in value. Why is it growing in value? Because sponsors continue to come in, fans continue to pump money in. The sponsors only pump money in because we buy their brands. The sponsors see an uptake in their brands being purchased through the channels of Man United. Look, we have sponsors on the Terrace. Very small scale compared to that of Man United. I know how it works. I know how the marketing industry works. Wow, look, we've sponsored Man United £10 million. Our sales have increased through their channels, clicks from their website, etc. We're going to renew for 12 million. We're going to renew for 15 million because it's worth so much money. We're like moths to a light. It's on us as fans.
We're talking about 6 billion for Man United. Oh, the training ground's not up to scratch, or the stadium's got a leaky roof. The thing that people want most as a football supporter is a winning team.
Well, Graham Souness, the Glazers haven't created that since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. They've hemorrhaged over £1 billion on failed transfers. They've had 4 failed rebuilds. That is the complaint. And this is what really cooks my goose on this topic, is whenever I listen to the BBC, TalkSport, Sky, BT speak about it, I don't know what numpties they have representing Manchester United, but the wrong narrative is always spun. Nobody's calling out the true issues we have. We know the Glazers have spent money. We have never bemoaned the volume of money spent. No true Man United fan claims we haven't spent money. They have wasted the money. They have failed in their rebuilds. They have hired the wrong managers. They have hired the wrong recruitment people. They have hemorrhaged our money. That is why we want them gone. And I do think, by the way, Graham Souness, the training facilities being poor, the stadium leaking, the toilets flooding with urine every game, facilities not being upgraded, has a detrimental effect on how you perform as a football club, because it sends a message to everybody that we are not serious. So it's an absolute fallacy to say it doesn't matter that the roof's leaking and the stadium's rusting and the training ground is massively out of date. It's okay that we've fouled on multiple projects. We spent lots of money and the club's now worth £6 billion. So we must be doing something right. We haven't had a winning team. We've had a very good first year under Ten Hag, but we're not a winning team until we start winning the Premier League. So what is Graham Souness talking about? It's absolute nonsense what he's coming out with here. And I do stand by it. We must pull our money as fans. Now, I got called out for this yesterday by a journalist called Chris Winterburn, I think his name is. Now, he called me out yesterday and stated that this isn't the case. He says money gained through domestic merchandise sales is minimal, is what he said. He says tickets would also be taken up and the income there is minimal too. Ironically, people consistently repeating all the Qatar stories of what's inflated the share price and makes the Glazers more money. And I called this man out. I called him out, not in a horrible way. I've just said that it's untrue. Firstly, major investors that are pumping money into Man United are not doing so because people on Twitter are retweeting stories. They're doing it based on inside information they're getting. They're not, some billionaire stockbroker isn't going to go, listen, I'm going to ring up all my important clients and make them invest in Man United because Mark Goldbridge just made a video. That's dumb as hell. It doesn't happen anywhere. Point blank, period. Okay. Secondly, domestic merchandise. Why are you disrespecting our international fans? Our international fans love our club just as much as our England-based Man United fans. If everybody stops buying the merchandise, it has a huge impact on our sponsors. Man United have to hit quotas every year to get all of their money. This lie that is perpetuated that, well, Man United have already got their shirt sponsor money. They've already got the money from the wine sponsor, the watch sponsor, the car sponsor, the noodle sponsor. You have to hit a certain level of metrics. That some of that is by direct sales, i.e. shirts. Others, it's we need a certain amount of clicks off the website, a certain amount of post interactions on social media. That is what they're targeted against, like all sponsors and marketing. So if we boycott, they don't hit the numbers, that United don't get paid. If United don't get paid, the Glazers will sell because the asset stops growing. It is a lie. It is an absolute lie that boycotting won't help. And I don't understand why people can't wake up and smell this coffee. Now, of course, I called him out and I was very polite about it. But of course, instead of having a debate with me, his response was to block me, which is what everybody does when it comes to this conversation, which is why I believe I'm right now. I don't believe I've got the right method. I'm not that arrogant. But I know I'm on the road to the truth because whenever I challenge anybody on this, let's get on camera and debate. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's spread awareness. All they do is say no, ignore, or hit the block button. That tells me I'm right. And this nonsense, by the way, that match-going fans and the money they generate is not important is a fallacy. When lockdown happened, the club lost money because a lot of the broadcasters didn't pay their bill to the Premier League. But that was recouped the following year when TV revenues went up to another level. Over 2021, where a lot of our problems started was a lack of matchday revenue. And you can see this here. Matchday revenue dropped down to just £9 million in the season of 2020 to 2021, where it was locked down for the entire season. Maybe I think the last few games, they opened things up. TV broadcasting, by the way, went up to 352 million. 352 million. Matchday revenue dropped from an average of 110 million a year, 120, 130 million a year to 9 million, and the club was facing financial problems. And the point is here, match-going fans stopping going to games alone won't kill the value of the club, but it's a large amount of people not going, people boycotting. And do you know what I believe? People always disrespect their international fans. Oh, they're just tourists. They'll just buy the tickets. They're buying tickets to games and buying shirts because everybody else is. It's just what everybody's doing. It needs a big majority and a big loud bang and splash. It needs truly influential people. That's not me, by the way. To make a stance. I truly believe if 40,000 season tickets holders gave up their tickets and said we're boycotting and said we're going to stand outside the stadium for every home game and block the entrances, we're going to stop people coming in, and we believe we need to damage the valuation of the club to make the Glazers sell so we get better owners, so we progress as a football team. I do believe our international fans who love the football club would join in with you. I don't believe they just go and buy tickets and walk their way through and spend £300 in the club shop. I don't believe they would. I believe they love the club just as much. But if they see all the local, the diehards, the true fans, as they call themselves, going to the games and buying the merchandise themselves, why would they follow suit? You're meant to be the true fans. So you should set the example, no? I believe it would work. And listen, everyone's free to support Man United in any which way they want. I don't personally judge you. Stop moaning and crying and bitching about the Glazers. Put the green and gold scarves away. Put the banners away. Because as long as we as a fan base, and I put as a we, not a you and I, as long as we are pumping money into this football club, there's a big chance the Glazers stay. And if they stay, we as Man United fans are the only people that are responsible. But what the reaction will be is moaning, crying, boo-hooing, green and gold scarves, love United, hate Glazer chants, and then the money will continue to flow in, the valuation of the club will continue to grow, and in the end, they'll sell, but for even more money, because that, as I said at the top, their only true motivation, the Glazers, is to make as much money as possible. So, of course, as Man United fans, we hold the power, but are we willing to yield it? Are we willing to cut the snake's head off? Are we willing to pull the money, boycott the sponsors, stop going to games, and crash the value of the club? It's the only way. It's the only guarantee. I pray they sell. I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that they don't keep this football club. I'll be the happiest man in the world. I want to go back to games. I want to buy the merch. I want my kids in the kits. I want it. I can't give these Glazers any of my money. I can't give any money directly to this football club until they're gone. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings, people. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.